Hey Creagears, Robo here and welcome back to the Custom Amiibo month 2020. In this video we will continue the Custom Amiibos with the second to last boss, everyone's least favorite boss to fight, the Flyfish. So, let's start this project. For the first step of this amiibo, we had already started to work on the clay parts that we're going to need for this Flyfish. For this we first made 3 bottles for the missiles. We also used the clay for the ink on the base with a splash effect. And using one of these beads, we made a black cover for the cockpit. We also pressed the same beads into some hot plastic packaging to make the window. For the next phase, we carefully used an X-Acto knife to cut out the window screen for the little small fry. Next, we also cut the rest of the cockpit in half to be able to take out the beads and then glue it back together with some super glue. When the glue has dried, we can use a Dremel to smooth out the edges from cutting the clay. After sanding, we use a hole punch to make 2 little 2mm EVA foam circles to glue to the sides of the cockpit to finish that part. To continue with the foam, we use it to cut out a top edge for the containers of the Flyfish. Cardboard could also be used, but we didn't have any good ones on hand. When we're finished with the top edges, we can also cut the 3cm high sides out. Together with some half circles and some more of the same shapes for the edge of the lid. Then we can use some super glue and coffee stirring sticks to attach the sides together and to glue on the top edge. Next we cut some more coffee stirring sticks into 1cm pieces and cut these out diagonally to make the support that will go under the top edge. With 2 on the shorter sides and 3 on the longer side. And then we have 2. But the Flyfish protects its weak spot very well with a lid, so let's make those. For these we cut out 2 of the same shape as the top edge, but with smaller and smaller sizes. Then we glue these on top of each other to make the base of the lid. To these we glue the half circles. After these have dried, we cut some paper to size and super glue this over the half circles to close off the lids. To finish the containers, we use a bamboo skewer, which we've cut to size as a hinge by fastening it between the lid and the basket. Next we use a triangle of 4mm wood and a hole punch to make a rivet. This will be used as an angle piece in the arm that connects the launcher to the cockpit of the Flyfish. We also use some other beads as greebles to decorate the launcher between the seams. We use some more coffee stirring sticks to make the arms and glue these to the wooden angle and to the launcher. Later on we will also attach these to the baskets, but these need to be painted first. For the next step I drill a hole into a wooden dowel and cut an acrylic rod the size to make the jet that makes the Flyfish float. As for decorations, we use some smaller dowels and a skewer to create layers. After these layers are on, we also cut some 2mm foam to make the fins of the jet. And glue these under a sunken ring we grinded in the dowel. Then we can attach the base of the Flyfish. For this we can glue the cockpit to the jet and the launcher arms to the circle on the cockpit and the sides of the jet. And it's already looking so good. But now we can make it whole with a bit of paint. As with all the salmonids, we've already put a base coat of white and black on the parts before we start to add the colors. Starting with a very light skin tone color for the containers. Do try to avoid the lock on the front of the containers, since this needs to be jet black. After those two got enough layers, we roughed up the acrylic rod and we start on a small fry with some salmon gray. Because that has to dry, we can add some black to touch up the lock again and to color the tube system inside of the lids. Then I used a red mixed with skin color and a tiny bit of black to make a whitewashed red to add to the right basket. Being very careful inside with the box of the tubes. After the red, I also made a whitewashed blue for the left container to cover the lid. When the lids were all finished, I went back to the small fry to paint on some white for the brighter colors. Mainly the pants, the eyes, the mouth and the back fin. To finish the rest of the baskets, I used some silver on the lock on the front of the containers and to the cans on the top of the lids. And I used some natural green for the tube box. And boy, this took a couple of layers. Luckily the green of the pants of the small fry was a bit quicker to shine. But when it's set to dry between layers, I used some white as a starting layer for some orange ink spots on the base. And the same orange we also use on the back fin. And we add some dark mixed with natural green for the ink of the base. Then to finish the small fry we paint the eyes with some white and skin color and use the orange for the eyes with black pupils. Finally we can paint a layer of black mixed with silver to create a black metallic color for the Flyfish's frame. I'm also using the same drill as I used to make the hole in the jet as a spinning post to get all of the nooks and crannies of the frame. Then we paint the acrylic gloss layer over the eyes of the small fry and the ink on both the base and some extra on the exhaust of the jet and the launcher. Starting by supergluing the acrylic rod to the base. We may have also made a miniature splat bomb as a miss on the Flyfish. When these had a chance to dry, we add some of this high pigment paint onto the rod and the hot glue under the bottle in the launcher to give them a green color while still letting the light of the LEDs in the amiibo through. Then we glue the frame to the rod and we embed the small fry into its cockpit. Next we attach the baskets to the launchers. And close the cockpit off with the packaging window. And with 5 hours of miniature electrical work, we have finished the custom Flyfish amiibo. Hey Creagears, Robo here, and we hope you enjoyed this video. Only one more custom boss amiibo to go. Who would your guess be? Leave it down in the comments. But that's going to be all from us now. Keep those creative gears turning, and we will see you in the next video.